Hey there, I'm Kathy Burns with Real Estate Riches, and today we're going to talk about virtual staging. Stay tuned because it's pretty cool. So, anyway, if you like this, please subscribe below and hang in here with me. So, I have done a couple of houses recently. I just started using this a little bit because some of these houses need some help, right? So, if you've got a vacant house, what are you going to do? In the past, I have always had a whole storage unit filled with all kinds of staging stuff that I would do to help typically an empty house. Although sometimes I would use it in homes that need some tender loving care because maybe their knickknacks are really awful and their bedding is awful. Their shower curtains are really scary. And I want to just kind of do some subtle touches. And how I would do that is I started going to yard sales when I first moved to North Carolina, first for my own house to kind of fill it up because I had no money and I thought yard sales was the way to do it. But as time evolved and I made money, I thought, this would be good staging stuff. I can get, you can get some great towels, you can get some great knickknacks for, see all this stuff in here, that kind of stuff. Because if you have an empty house or a house that's got some stuff that, you'd really like them to pack up and you've got some shelving, that looks awful if it's all empty. But if you start doing different things like those little pots and stuff like that, some books, I would get all that stuff at garage sales and you could get it for a couple bucks. And then now I need a storage unit. So I got some shelving units and I would put it all in order. But one of the things that I really wanted to get were bedspreads that were solid colors. And the same thing with the shower curtains, I'd want solid color, usually a white. I would go to not Home Depot, Home Goods, and I would get white towels. Sometimes I would have a color towel because if it was a white bathroom, I need a pop of color in there. And I might go with blue or teal because those are friendly colors, right? In the kitchen, I had a wine rack. I would save empty wine bottles and I'd put them in there so that they would fill up that spot. I would get some canisters that I had, rugs, different rugs that I felt would do it, different pictures. Some of this I got at Home Goods, some of it I got it at Target, and I started to have like a little, what was it, a 5x8 storage unit where I had stuff in there, candles, different things like that. And sometimes I had a few pieces of furniture. Now I don't do that so much anymore because I think the virtual staging is really powerful. I do more of the bathrooms in the kitchen as my piece than I do anything else for the vacant homes. And I'm also not doing as many listings as I used to do. So I might just buy it for the particular house and then I'll use it in my own home afterwards. There you go. That's a trick. Now, in the beginning, when I first started doing this with the garage sales, that's actually how I got listings. I got 2 waterfront listings as a result of going to garage sales early in the morning. That's another story. But anyway, the virtual pictures for the houses are great. So an agent that is on my team, she said, Kath, can I do some virtual staging on this? I says, well, you've already got furniture in the house. I don't know that you can. And it was awful stuff. Just, it's not compelling because people judge the house even by your furniture. And it was cluttered. They didn't think it was, but it was old style. And people want to get a positive feel when they walk in. And if you've got older stuff in there, it's not good. Well, the good news was she found one, I think it was Brownie Box. I'm going to let you do your own homework on that. And I would encourage you to use AI, go into ChatGPT, tell them it's an expert and in that field of all products that relate to virtual staging and say, help me find the best one that that I can work with. And if there's one that could get rid of the furniture that's in there and overlay it by doing some virtual staging on top of it, that would be ideal. I want price points and I want you to tell me which ones will let me do it by picture versus signing up on a contract or a monthly thing. Tell me which ones are the best. I do this on everything before I invest my money in different things. I want to know that it's got good ratings. And I said, don't you go by its own ratings on its own platform. I want independent ratings where it's like a Google review or something like that. Because if it just goes by its own ratings, of course it's going to say it's great, pat itself on the back. No. So those are little tricks about AI that you need to know in ChatGPT, where you've got to define it and recognize its sources. Because I started to see that it was grabbing information off the company's own website. I go, no, that's not fair. That's not right. No, stop that. So I changed it. And I made sure to remember that for future prompts, right? So she found one, I think it was Brownie Box, and the guy was going to be moving. So he was going to be taking the furniture out, but she asked me to review her listing so I could see how it looked. And I go, oh, I would take some of these pictures out. She led, I can't remember what she led with, but she had another one that was really great. I said, lead with that picture. Don't just do what everybody thinks where you're supposed to do the front of the house. The front of the house is not always your selling point. Your whole goal is the first impression. So get that out of there, change it for the better picture. And I said, some of these rooms, man, they're tough. I said, check into that virtual staging, which she did. And she found one that would erase it. Now, it was an extra price point to do that, but was it worth it? Yes. And it got her more showings as a result. But the other thing was the guy was going to be moving out. So now those were going to be there. But I did say, once he moves out, I want you to go in there, get some white towels in the bathroom, get some things to touch it up because they've seen this virtual staging, which you do have to put in your pictures. That's another thing. When agents have got pictures they're putting into the MLS, do those descriptions in there. Talk about what room this is, what it's near, what its benefits are, what's going on in that room, because people are reading that, especially agents are, and they want to know what it is. When you don't complete the process of that, you miss out on opportunities to pitch it while they're online. So back to the virtual staging, that's important, but I like the things in the kitchen. I like that jewelry basically around the house to just get a good feel when they're walking in the door, you know? So what do you think about virtual staging? Have you done it before? I'd love to hear your feedback in here. Give it to me. Do you like the prices? Did you like one over another? All those things. I need to know. Everybody needs to know. Share it in the remarks. And if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe below and stay tuned for the next one.